Hello and welcome from a little space here in Vienna. My name is Luise, I'm a literature student, and this is a little insight on a week. Hello, I just got home from a meeting with the university newspaper. We have a newspaper from the Scandinavian department that the students run themselves. And I was in the team. We are gonna do the last issue now, and then hopefully there's gonna be a new team. We don't know yet if people are motivated to run the paper, but for us it's time to say goodbye because it is a lot of work and we don't get paid or we don't get any kind of credits for it, and we are almost finished with our studies at the Scandinavian department. So we decided to do this last big issue and then say goodbye. So we had a meeting where we read through all the articles one more time, and also the layout is done and we just checked if everything is the way it's supposed to be. And then we can send it to the printer, I guess, and we will sell it at like there are two celebrations or feasts at the department. One is for Christmas and one is for summer. It's called Midsommarfest and the other one is Julfest. And yeah, we're gonna sell it there because there are lots of people coming together, students and teachers, professors. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, and the articles are written by students themselves or sometimes also by professors, so it's a great variety and some really good stuff, also a little bit scientific and sometimes a little bit more personal or fun little stories. So it's a lot of different articles with different topics, everything related to Scandinavia in some way. And yeah, I'm really proud of our work and that we managed to print this whole issue. Maybe I can show you some of the older issues that we made later. And yeah, now it's time to eat and relax a bit because I still have a lot of work to do today. A lot of reading for the next weeks and such. So these are the 3 issues that we printed so far, and the last one is already at the printer, but it is not here yet. This one was our first issue, and we didn't really know what we were doing, but I think it turned out quite well. We have interviews and some more scientific articles. This one is about the Vikings and their trading. Then we also have some stuff about knitting, as well as this interview. It is in Norwegian with this lovely lady. She has a knitting company with her own patterns called Fable Knitwear. So if you are into knitting, definitely check this out. She has a great Instagram account. With this one, the layout changed quite a bit and we worked a little bit differently. I really like it because we have a lot more pictures and it's really beautiful. I think there is also an article that I wrote, oh yeah, here, about the Faroe Islands, where I once made a trip, so that was beautiful. And the last issue here is a little bit different from the layout because the topic was twisted. So we played around a little bit. Some articles are not exactly the way you would expect them. This was a very good time and I'm so happy that I was part of the team, and I think we did a pretty cool job. Here I went on an event at the Austrian Society for Literature. My professor talked to Fatima Nakvi, who is a literature and film scholar, and she published or is going to publish a book about hospitals in literature. And they talked about this. It was very interesting, and I really like this place where I also did an internship last year. It is very cozy and lovely. Today I had some time in between courses, so I sat down at the arcade court at university and did some reading and just enjoyed the beautiful spring weather in this lovely building. And also, let's appreciate the beautiful view from the university's toilet. It's lovely, you can see the town hall from here. Hello! I wanted to show you what I'm currently reading, which is all university related. I don't have much time for any private books. I'm still reading Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. And it will take a while for me to finish it because there is a lot coming in between that I need to finish for university. So there are a few secondary books, but also some very lovely fictional literature. And I would start with that. There is one book that is not for university. Yes, I'm attempting to read Jon Fosse, Morgen og Kveld, which is in Norwegian. It's a Norwegian author. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I'm not sure. And I don't know what the English translation is, but if you translate it directly, it's morning and evening. I could read this in German, which would be a lot easier and a lot faster, but I thought, let's just read it in Norwegian. The thing is, it would be totally fine, but it is in nynorsk. There are 2 standard norms in Norway, 2 written standard norms, and you learn one in particular, and reading the other one is quite difficult if you are not used to it. I don't think it's like such a big deal to learn it or anything, but I never read it. So this read is gonna be a little bit harder than reading it in the other Norwegian standard because I'm not used to it. And I'm reading this for the book club at my old workplace, or I did an internship there. It's the Austrian Society for Literature. And they have this little book club and said, we're going to read this next. And I was like, I really wanted to read something by Jon Fosse for a very long time, especially because of the Scandinavian context. So I'll try to read this until the mid of June, I think, is the meeting. We'll see if I manage that. Another book, these are actually all with a Scandinavian context. And the next one is, in German, it's called Eisiges Land by Tore Kveven. And let me just check what the original title is. It's called Når landet mørknar, and also originally in Norwegian. It is a story about a young Viking in 1293 in Greenland, and he goes for his first hunt and experiences the life in very harsh conditions, as far as I know, but I haven't really started it. And I'm reading this book for a seminar on the topic water, which is quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to reading this. I'll have to write an essay about it afterwards. And another book that I actually wanted to write about this book for this water seminar, but the author is Finnish, and it is set in the UK in 1688, so it also has a historical context. It talks about a man who goes down diving in the river Thames. What's the English word for the river? I don't know. So yeah, it's quite interesting, and I think it would have a lot to unpack when you work on the topic water. But the fact that he is Finnish and the book is set in the UK, it doesn't really work with our department. The thing is, depending on what definition you have, Finland is part of Scandinavia, but when you only look at the language, it is not close to the Scandinavian languages, and it is also a different department. So there is a separate department for the Finnish language, which is actually combined with Hungarian, which doesn't make sense when you first hear it, but it is the same language family. But as far as I know, they don't understand each other. So maybe there are some people from Finland or Hungary who can talk about this a little bit more in the comment section. But Finnish is not part of the Scandinavian department because it has its own department. And then my professor was like, well, the Scandinavian context, it isn't there. Like it is there, but not enough. So I wasn't allowed to write about this book, but I really hope to read it anyways at some point. Yes, that was it with the literary fiction, and now we have some non-fiction. I'm reading this for a seminar on cancel culture. It is quite interesting. It is a very heated topic, and we are trying to just read a lot of different perspectives and then discuss them. And I have to read 2 books on the topic and then lead a podium's discussion. And I'm quite nervous because I always think it's like doing presentations in front of people is always a big thing for me, and with such a hot topic, it's even more, I don't know, it's not frightening, but I'm a little bit nervous. So the first book is Walter Ben Michaels. What's the original title? Because the German title is Der Trubel Diversität, and it's originally in English, The Trouble with Diversity. This is a very critical opinion on diversity and maybe considered as problematic by a lot of people. I have read a little bit, but I'm not through yet. And it's interesting, but same with the other book that I have to read by Caroline Forest, Generation beleidigt von der Sprachpolizei zur Gedankenpolizei. I think this is originally in French. Let me see. Yeah, it's in French. Génération offensée, de la police de la culture à la police de la pensée. I don't know. I learned French, but it's been a while, so I don't know if that was correct. And both of the books are very, like, they basically say we are overdoing it with the whole diversity thing and cancel culture. It's too much. And there are definitely some things where I would agree with, and sometimes where I feel like they're kind of oversimplifying the situation. But I find it very interesting to see this perspective and to just talk about it, because I think that's very important, that there is no right or wrong in this discussion. There are just a lot of different perspectives and places people come from and experiences that other people just never made. And I think it is very important to stay open and respectful in this discussion. So this is what I have to read for university, and
I hope to read the other books soon-ish, but I'm not pressuring myself with that. I'll see if I can read it. I'll definitely read the books that I have to read, like for the water seminar and for my podiums discussion, and then I'll see if I'll manage to read the other books. I just realized I never told you the author or the title of this book. It's by Olli Jalonen. I don't know how to pronounce Finnish names. The German title is Die Kunst unter Wasser zu leben, translated The Art to Live Underwater, but I don't know the English title, and I'm not gonna read the Finnish title because I don't know how to pronounce that. What are your TBRs for the next few weeks or months? How far ahead do you plan? Because for me, I plan ahead quite far because I'm a very slow reader. So if I say I want to read a book, I might not even read it this year, but maybe next year. I was driving home to Salzburg, where I'm initially from, to attend my sister's wedding, which was really lovely. And the official registry office in Salzburg is in a beautiful castle. My parents also married there like 25 years ago, I believe, and now my sister got married there. Very beautiful. After a lot of celebration and a really beautiful time in Salzburg, I headed back to Vienna. Also tried to get out in nature because I always need to get into the woods and see something else than just my room and my workbooks. And then I went back to my table and did a little bit of reading and enjoyed the rest of my weekend.